We didn't talk about it at all yesterday, but obviously stance is an important consideration. It's good to stand like this, right? Feet spread apart, knees bent, ready to move. Why is this good? Yeah, exactly. It's like, I want to be like low down, ready to move, and I can push that weight in any direction. Now, this is easy for people to intellectually understand. You're like, yeah, I want to stand like this. But what do you see on stages? People are actually shooting. Yeah, you see a lot of, like, people will stop and like shoot a target like this, and then when they want to get going again, then they'll coil up like a spring and then push off. And in my opinion, like, I would judge all of that as kind of wasted effort or wasted movement. Okay, so the habit that we want for training is to make sure that when you stop, it's feet spread apart, knees bent, right? Ready to move, 50-50 weight distribution, all that. Like, what I find is like people get out of position and get going effectively and aggressively so long as they're set up the right way. But you got to train yourself to get set up the right way. Make sense? Okay, so to work on that, it's just a simple looking exercise that for whatever reason, it fucks people up a lot. What we're gonna do is shoot 2 rounds on each target, move to the other side of the stick, and then shoot 2 rounds on each target, right? I'll make a few examples for you, and it should be pretty clear what we want to do. Okay, so those few examples, what things did you see? Anybody?
So you shooting and then moving and then stopping and shooting again?
Yes, so that's a great observation. So the mentality that we want to get away from is like shoot, move, okay, now I'm stuck, okay, movement done, now I have permission to shoot again. And instead, blend those things together, and in a sense, you're gonna disconnect your shooting, your upper body shooting, from what your lower body's doing. Okay, and what I mean by that is the third and fourth example that you saw was my foot position, did that have anything to do with whether or not I was shooting?
No.
Yeah, it had nothing to do with it. It's like I look at the spot I want to hit, I register that flash of red on there, and I start shooting, irrespective of what my body's telling me. What most people do, again, they'll like not give themselves permission to shoot until they get all tucked into their stance. And they're like, oh, okay, now I can start shooting. With this exercise, we're gonna try to break out of that, right? Make sense, everyone? All right, so one note about this stick. So in a USPSA setting, we'd be looking at like foot faults and penalties and that kind of thing. I don't want you to look at it that way. This stick is just a contrived thing to force you to move around. That's all it is. I'm not looking at it like trying to hammer you with foot penalties. I just want to force you to take like that one awkward step and then set up again. Okay, another thing. For the lateral movement here, you're gonna have a lot better success cross-stepping than trying to long step. So if I'm set up like this, I have to really step long in order to get across the stick and set up wide. So you have a much easier time just cross-stepping. It's not a specific technique I'm telling you to use in matches just for this. It's going to be a lot easier. Sound good?